Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm here today with another video for Technique Junkies, and this is called Bad Example. Now I used an older stamp and the one from the brand new August set. So let's go ahead and get started with this super easy card. All right, here we go. So this is a super simple card. Be great for a guy or a girl. And I thought I'd show you how I made it. It's super quick, super easy. So I used an older stamp from Technique Junkies called Defy Authority, and then the new stamp called Bad Example from the August release. I've got a couple of pieces of paper, just my printed paper, and I've got a die cut and my VersaFine Clair, and then I'll also use a couple of pieces of foam. So I'm going to start out with just stamping out the little dog drinking out of the bowl. So I know some people are okay with their dog drinking out of the bowl. Some people don't like it. I have no opinion on that. I think it's funny. So let's just hope that people keep it flushed. And this is just a piece of accent opaque 80-pound paper that I'm going to be stamping on. I'm just going to put a little magnet and just kind of place it, and keep in mind that, I'm going to want to put my sentiment up top and be able to get it all cut out into the little die cut, which is, I want to say it's 4x3 or something like that. So what I'm going to do, and I'm going to zoom in here, you see here where this Defy Authority is? Although I really love that, I'm going to mask it off because I want to choose a different sentiment. And that's what I love about stamping, is you don't have to use the whole thing. Now I'm not going to cut it off because it's too close. I don't want to, ruin the integrity of the red rubber by cutting it. So I'm just going to mask it. I'm just taking some little mint tape and placing it down over those words. Now I'm going to want to ink that up really well because I want to be a one and done on this. Because again, it's supposed to be a quick card. I mean, you could put this thing together in less than 10 minutes. So I'm just going to get a nice thick coat of ink. Make sure that your ink pad is nice and juicy. I oftentimes forget to re-ink mine, and then I'm wondering why I'm not getting any ink out of it. Then I'll just pull off that mint tape, pull it over onto my paper, and give it a good press down. And hold it for a few seconds so that the ink takes hold. Doesn't take long. Check it. No, not quite. Give it another little push. There we go. I'm happy with that. It was really easy. So I'll just move this stamp out of my way. Give it a little wipe off so I don't get black ink everywhere, because I'm keeping this little focal image black and white. Then I'm going to put down my acetate like I do with any type of something I need to position perfectly. And I'm going to grab the Bad Example stamp. And I'm going to place it where I think it probably will go. But I do want to test it, because if it's crooked, I'm not a happy camper. It doesn't really matter if it's crooked, but for me, I'm picky about that. So I'm just going to give it one little tap here and do a test run on the acetate. If I'm happy with the placement, yep, I'm happy with the placement. I'll go ahead and wipe off my acetate and go ahead and stamp that down. And I didn't speed up any of this video because, as you can see, the whole process took me 8 minutes. So if you need a quick card, that's the way to go. Okay, one stamp and done. I'm happy with it. I'll go ahead and wipe off my stamp again so I don't get ink everywhere. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. I'll be right back. All right, I've got it cut out, and this is just a piece of fun foam. It doesn't have any sticky on it at all. It's the cheapest one they have, probably at Walmart. And I'm just going to cut it down so that it fits. You could use foam tape. You could use several layers of card. This is entirely up to you, but for me, this is the quickest, easiest way to go. And it saves me on my sticky foam tape, which is a lot more expensive. So I'm just putting glue down on here and sticking that on just so it doesn't stick out anywhere. Give it a good press, and then I'm going to set it aside and go to work on the rest of the card. So I've got this, and I don't know where that plaid paper came from, but I think this is an Altenew. It's either an Altenew or a Catherine Pooler. Anyway, I'm gonna set something on there so it kind of stays flat on that other piece. And I'm gonna trim this down to 4 by 5 1/4, but I want my stripes to go horizontal. So maybe it's jail for drinking out of the pot, I don't know. Once I've got that cut down, then I'm going to cut down another piece. And this piece is 3 inches, and I'm going to cut it 3 by 3 3/4. Doesn't matter what size you cut it at all. Just cut it however you like it. Because you'll see, it's going to kind of get buried. It's just sort of an accent piece. And I'm going to go ahead and glue that piece down. This month's release, I really like it. And by the way, if you are interested in any of the products I use, the stamps that I used, you can get 10% off by using my discount code TJ10Color on any regular priced item. So I'm cutting a piece of ribbon. I've had this ribbon forever. I think it's a Joanne brand, but I like it because it's, I don't know, kind of helps with the pattern of the card. And I'm just kind of placing it where I think I want it, and then I'm going to put a little bit of glue down. Ultimately, it's very hard to stick fabric with this glue to a glossy paper, so these papers are sort of glossy. But I'm going to kind of press that down and hold on to it for a minute. So I'll just kind of hold it in place for a second, and I'm going to grab a couple of pieces of tape. Since I'm going to be gluing a foam pad down onto the back of this, it's not a big deal if that doesn't stick there, because I'm going to be sticking something on top of it as well. But I'm going to just kind of tape that down in place. See, it didn't stick because you have to hold that stuff for a long time on these two different substrates. So I'm giving it another little press down there and just holding it over where I want it and sticking down my tape. Then I'll grab another piece of foam, and it looks like I just need to trim that piece off a little bit. So I'll just trim a little off the top, and then I'm just going to glue this piece of foam down to the back of that. And believe it or not, folks, we are almost done. It's, sometimes it's time to start using your pattern paper. I have been hoarding my pattern paper like crazy, and it's just piling up and taking up space. And, I have it kind of in a place where it won't get wrecked or dirty, but it still tends to get wrecked and dirty because I'm in and out of that little box. So I'm just going to make sure that's good and stuck down. And then decide on my placement for this piece. I'm going to first glue the base piece down to a piece of to a red card base. You could use white, you could use black, you could use any color you want. I just wanted the red to just kind of pull in the red from that little accent piece of paper. You could do these in any kind of colors and patterns, and I know you know, because this is a really common way to make cards, where it's not a bunch of fancy, everything. And I do that, so this just is like, cool breeze. Let's just make a really cool card that really doesn't take any work at all. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this piece down, and that card will be finished. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Okay, let's hold that for a second. And there we go. Our card is finished. Well, I hope you liked this video and my Technique Junkies August stamp. And I thank you so much for watching. Please give me a thumbs up if you liked the video. And bye-bye.